Been a minute since I've done one of these. How y'all doing? It's me. I'm back. I'm in LA, chilling. Who's that guy? Yep.
Yo. Yeah, I used to play the trap spot, propped on the block like I was part of the backdrop. Now it's scale props, effects and backdrops. The right lighting, you never catch me biting. Say you make it look so real when you post the figures fighting. I caught lightning, stuck it on the dial. F what you heard, let me tell you boys what I know. It's all facts, put displaying on the map. B, you better check my bio. No cap. A Scully in my tee, got my logo, whole fit, master kicks. I'm organic with the promo. I don't edit the pic, that's a no-no. And then lie about it like a bozo. I'm just one of the best, pound for pound, world renowned, recognized around the globe. Peter B and Miles in the picture perfect pose, and it's all tangible when the Sentinel explodes. Boom, I got that spark. My cutouts be sharp as my darts. Sit back, relax, it's about to start. Welcome to Articulated Comic Book Art.
Yes, sir. We're officially back at it. Boog, nice. Coming at you with another update. I won't say this is a daily news update because it's been quite a while since I put out one of these videos. Maybe a little over a month was my last update. August 5th, 2024. That was when the Beyond the Spider-Verse Marvel Legends wave was announced, and I announced from the bathroom. I wasn't actually taking shit at the time, but that was the only place that I had peace and quiet. At that moment, I was actually at the hotel that I would soon be having my wedding at, doing the final walkthrough and tasting for the food for the wedding. So yeah, I did get married. That's why I didn't attend San Diego Comic-Con, but I did put out quite a blitz of videos through San Diego Comic-Con. I think I'm good with touching on all the things that we saw through SDCC. But yeah, obviously I've been quite busy. The wedding in itself was amazing. Everything just felt so good, felt so right. Shout out to all of the community members that did make it out to the wedding. My boy Gary, Swift, Danny, Ed. But yeah, we got married in Washington, D.C. at the Conrad Hotel. We hung out in D.C. for a few days. We came back to New York, and then we went out to Cali. We were in Calabasas for a little while, drove up the coast, drove to Malibu, went to some wine tastings, ate a ton of food, went to the beach a bunch of times. Just driving up the coast was so nice. Then my wife had to work in L.A., so we went to L.A. I got to hang out with Fabio. I met him out in L.A. He took me out for a day. We went to a few places, a few comic shops. I didn't go crazy in terms of shopping. I did pick up the Lady Bullseye figure because I wanted another part to build another mindless one. As you know, I've been army building those. I finally picked up the Snake Eyes and Timber, this variant. I know I'm late with this, but I do want to get all of the variants so I could build up a little wolf collection. You know, obviously G.I. Joe has been killing it in terms of the different animals that they've been offering, but it was really cool hanging out in LA and hitting up a few spots. Obviously, it was great to meet up with Fabio. I couldn't meet up with Rick at the time because he was a little under the weather, but I mean, the food in Cali was just great. We actually ended up going to the restaurant that Fabio works at, some of the best pizza I've ever had, and that's coming from a New Yorker, but Two Dough's Pizza, phenomenal. Actually met up with Ed's parents one of the nights that we were out there in LA too. We went to dinner with them at this Chinese place, this dim sum place in Beverly Hills. Phenomenal. Shout out to my son Ed. Oh, this Mad Lab coffee shop was great. They had a great coffee, iced coffee that was called the White Bronco. Had orange juice and iced coffee. Very good. We did a little hiking. That was actually before we went out to LA when we were still kind of driving on the coast. Oh, I forgot to mention that our feature wall where the guests for the wedding would figure out what table and stuff they were sitting at had a little ACBA spin on it. We were able to get all of these figures and pose them and what have you. So that's how I could keep it relevant to the channel. But like I mentioned in the update before the last update, I'm all caught up currently in terms of Marvel Legends Build-A-Figures. I know that the Blackheart Build-A-Figure wave is starting to show up, so that's pretty much where I am. I do need to get that wave and complete Blackheart, but in terms of everything else from start to finish, from the very beginning, I'm all caught up. So I did take a few pictures of the Zabu Build-A-Figure alongside Kazar, broke out the Sauron Build-A-Figure, and like I had mentioned before, I had taken a few pictures of the Shield 3 3-pack. I got a couple of those. Cable and Wolfsbane from that Zabu Build-A-Figure wave. Yeah, I've been doing a lot of like a little short form content, hand posing on Instagram. As you know, I've got a love-hate relationship with that type of stuff, but it's an effective way to show stuff off quickly on Instagram. I've been going through all of the 85th anniversary offerings. Luke Cage and Iron Fist, that 2-pack is probably one of my favorites so far. I do have another Wolverine and Ghost Rider on my pile of loot at Big Bad Toy Store that I need to ship. I think I'm about to get the Hulkbuster armor. I see a couple of people have received that as well. I think my boy E. Rivera has reviewed that. But we also did just wrap up Hasbro PostCon. Real quick hits with all of these Hasbro properties. I do feel like what Hasbro did show us was pretty dope. The animated series Spider-Man, Peter Parker, and Vulture 2-pack was one thing that they showed off, and then this was like immediately available. People have already begun to get this in hand. You get the old and the young Vulture, you get the Peter Parker unmasked head, and then you also get Flash Thompson. I'm trying to figure what this body is. I haven't really talked to anybody about this body. You also get the Spider-Man mask, which is something that a lot of us have been anticipating and waiting for quite some time. We haven't had one of those since the like Marvel Legends San Diego Comic-Con Spider-Man / Stan Lee, if I'm not mistaken. I think that was the last time we got like a mask accessory with Spider-Man. But yeah, I was so happy with the Peter Parker from the animated series, and I didn't want to really use a regular kind of comic-based Spider-Man for my animated Peter Parker, so I will pick this up at some point. I haven't really gone too deep with a lot of the animated series stuff, but I do feel the need to double back for the Daredevil and Hydra Man 2-pack because I do want that hydronated Hydro Man. It should be noted that at Hasbro PostCon, in terms of things that they recapped before they showed off some of this newer stuff, they recapped the schematics and specifics for the deluxe Kang set where Kang comes with the throne, and people have started to get this in hand. They talked about Dragon Man, which I'm very excited to get. I did actually break out my old Dragon Man recently, which I actually removed from my permanent display in anticipation of this new one, even though it's going to be quite some time before we get the new one. But yeah, Dwight gave us a little more specifics on this newer version. I mean, the old version in terms of detail is still very nice, holds up really well. The amount of detail they would put in some of these Toy Biz figures. But the new one obviously is closer to the proper scale. Get a couple of different versions of the wings, some relaxed wings, some flailed out wings. I think they could have done more with the wings though. I could hear the hesitation and regret in Dwight's voice when he was discussing these wings, but the sheer size of this thing is pretty remarkable. You know, this did actually go up for pre-order. People were still complaining about the price. I've just come to accept that Legends collectors, they're going to complain no matter what, so it is what it is. But the big news was they finally fully revealed this Secret Wars wave that we've been hearing about for quite some time. Hasbro's been very funny with all of these kind of retro things that they're doing, where they're giving us great offerings, but you know, the Build-A-Figures are few and far in between, and they go on a route of a lot of deluxe figures that could have been Build-A-Figures where we could have gotten some bonus and continuing to skimp out on some of the accessories. But the truth is, if you've been collecting Marvel Legends for some time, you've definitely built up a lot of heads and hands and different things that you can swap on newer figures from existing figures that we've had for some time. But yeah, the Secret Wars wave is great. The Beyonder looks amazing. And again, these are just bare hands, so we've got tons of different bare hands if you want different gestures and what have you. Another head sculpt would have been nice, and we knew this would be coming at some point, seeing as we saw She-Hulk and we saw this character in the She-Hulk Netflix series, or Disney Plus series, but Titania. So a lot of people saying that they sick of Disney, Hasbro kind of censoring the look of some of these female characters, and I agree. I don't like it at all, but it's a good looking figure, not as large as the She-Hulk figure, but still pretty large in stature. Wolverine, I was a little confused about. I felt like the Wolverine that they showed off at San Diego Comic-Con was supposed to be like a arcade version of Wolverine. Speaking of which, those Sentinels that were shown off have started to show up and ship and show up in displays and what have you. So that's been really nice. But yeah, Wolverine, I think this is the same Wolverine that they showed off at San Diego Comic-Con. This is the Secret Wars Wolverine. Nice head sculpt, penless. Iron Man, a classic Iron Man, but this is pinless. I mean, this is pretty much the draw for all of the figures in this particular wave, I guess you could say. Obviously, you'll be able to mix and match parts from previous versions of Iron Man, head sculpts, what have you. But to have this pinless Iron Man is great. And also a pinless Captain America with two things that are really cool here. These head sculpts, a smiling Captain America head sculpt, a gritted teeth version, and a broken shield. Even though I think this broken shield is probably still small. You know, I've been saying that for years now, that they keep putting out shields that are too small, in my opinion, with the Captain America figures. But we getting there in terms of the best Captain America that Marvel Legends has ever offered. As soon as they give him butterfly joints, toe joints, and it goes crazy like the old Toy Biz Captain America in terms of articulation and posability, then that'll be it. But these two head sculpts, these updated head sculpts, are very nice. And what I'll do is just use a shield from one of the other movie Captain Americas for a larger shield, more detailed shield on top of that. They also showed off Black Suit Spider-Man, and the thing that really piqued my interest about this, the additional head sculpt with the squinted eyes is great, but they made it a point to mention that this is on the Amazing Fantasy 15 body, so it's a more slender Spider-Man, which I know a lot of people complained about the bulkier Black Suit Spider-Man not really representing Peter Parker's kind of build, and I agree. I've used that one in the past more so for Matt Gargan Spider-Man for Dark Avengers or what have you. So this is actually going to be a perfect update and more in line, more in tune with how he looked during Secret Wars. And then the final thing that they showed off was the fan vote winner, an Uncanny X-Force Nightcrawler. This is something that I've asked for quite some time. I can see them actually putting out an updated Wolverine utilizing the buck that they utilized for the 85th anniversary Astonishing X-Men Wolverine, but in his X-Force costume, and also updating Archangel, maybe a new Warpath, new X-23. Pretty much sky's the limit. They did hint at more Uncanny X-Force offerings. Probably going to be quite some time before we see all of this come to fruition, but there's like 3 different Uncanny X-Force teams that they can cycle through and give us updates for. One team in particular we did actually finish, but with a lot of these newer updated bucks, I would love to see them revisit almost everybody at this point. Then they had one final tease, which to me obviously looks like it's going to be an updated Chameleon figure. Now, if that's going to be an animated series version of Chameleon or another comic-based version, we're not 100% sure, but I do feel like no matter what, the accessories will be interchangeable. So there's that. And just a few relevant quick hits. We did get word from Hasbro that the Dragonfly, the G.I. Joe Dragonfly copter, is going to be getting ready to ship soon. We also got word from the Marvel Legends crew that Giant Man is going to be getting ready to ship soon. I did not back the Cobra Rattler, but I think I did predict that it would top out at around $25,000. It was a little bit more than that. I think, like with a lot of other people, my vehicle space is just really dwindling down. On this past week's episode of the ACBA podcast, please check us out on Friday nights at about 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We go live. We did talk about some vehicles that have come out as of late. Talked about that I had a little FOMO with the Ramen Racer. I may double back for that, and I actually may get this van that they're about to put out too. Here I am saying I don't have space, but here I am saying I'm going to buy more big items. There's a few other things I want to double back for. I did not pick up this Punisher and Bushwhacker set. We talked about that a bit on the podcast too. Been seeing some really nice photography with the Punisher figure. And listen, if you're doing your thing in terms of photography, please follow us on Instagram at Articulated Comic Book Art. You can also come join us in our Facebook group. Same name, Articulated Comic Book Art. You can join us in The Grind on Facebook as well. These are groups that have been around for a long time. It's a way for you to share tips, tricks, tactics, share your work, and possibly get a feature on our Instagram feature page. The ACBA community is pretty much all about community, and it's about displaying, and it's been like that from the beginning. We put on lots of different competitions for cash and prizes, and sometimes just for fun. In the month of October every year, we put on an event called OcTOYber. OcTOYber, which has a different theme every day of the month in October. And the theme list is out. It's been out for over a week already. So check that out. Come October 1st, there's going to be a lot of displays out there. So that should be exciting. And speaking of community, it's one thing that I will always do, that I've always done on this channel, is promote, big up, uplift people that's doing their thing in the community in terms of displaying or reviewing or whatever it is they're doing. If you're doing something good, as long as you're not biting or hating, we love to see it. So shout out to my man Finn, who's been a participant, a member of the A.C.B.A community for a very long time. He's got his YouTube channel going. He's getting some traction on some of these videos that he put out as of late. Give him a follow on Instagram and check out his videos on YouTube. I'm about to check out this Spider-Man video right now. I got a few quickie short videos, short form content videos coming up with the 85th anniversary Hulkbuster, 85th anniversary Venom. I'm back on the grind. I'll see y'all soon. Peace.
I'm in the game, I'm grinding. I got to play 24 hours in a day, 7 days out the week. I never sleep.
All right, I promise this is it. But thank you once again to everybody for all of the well wishes, for all of the attendees at Ashley and I's wedding. Special shout out to my man Gary's daughter, Naya, who actually got on the phone with her dad during the wedding and said congratulations. You know all about the kids for me. ACBA's for the kids. This is somebody that's been watching my channel since she was a tot. So special shout out to her. Naya, I'm going to definitely have to send you something. Shout out to my wonderful daughter, Kendall, who actually took a bunch of her own pictures. She has been obviously engulfed in ACBA and photography since she was a tot. Now she's been leaning more into people photography and exploring things with her camera that she got for her birthday last year. But she took some really nice photos of us. Shout out to my neighbor Ola, her son, whose mind I'm about to blow when I bless him with this Black Panther figure and put him on to ACBA. This video is dropping on the 1st of the month. So again, OcTOYber has begun. I did get one final reminder that the G.I. Joe Dragonfly and the Marvel Legends Dragon Man are about to ship. So you have until the 10th to update your shipping information if you need to do that. Also, I can't stress enough how the 85th anniversary program has been phenomenal. This is Marvel Legends at their very best. I'm 9 for 10. And I will shortly be 10 for 10 because I just got word that my Odin has converted. Shout out once again to Toy Blocks. He's got an Odin throne that they're working on that people can begin to purchase now, if I'm not mistaken. You know, that was one of the selling points for Odin, is that he can sit. And again, thank you. Thank you to everybody for all of the well wishes, for all of the gifts. Big shout out to my man Joseph, aka Gen Yamada X, who sent me a really nice ACBA sort of handmade plaque here that will for certain go up in the new office. All right, I think that's it for this video. I'll double back shortly.
I'm
Peace.
on my grizzly bear, 52 weeks out the year. Yeah.